the thing I love about street photography is its inbuilt. I would say you can never know what happens in case of a street photograph. Once you're out on the streets, anything can happen. So the unpredictability about street photography is the best part of it. You are going out maybe to shoot something completely different, but you end up documenting something else. And to be honest, when I started with street photography, I didn't even know about what could be the possibilities, what could be the endless possibilities of street photography. And when I started clicking it, probably I never planned those shots, but then the essence of street photographs that can lead to widely different results from what you were expecting makes it all the more special. So street photography for me is unpredictable, it's surprising, and at the same time it's highly enriching. Well, I have been looking at works of various wonderful street artists, including Vineet Vora, Rohit Vora, and of course following a lot of Instagram pages that feature street photographs. And what I've seen is that it can go up to any extent. In fact, if in case you are going out to shoot, there is possibilities of improving with every possible day. So I started off with clicking very simple frames, but when I actually started going out more often, I thought that maybe I could do better. I could play around with light, I can play around with shadows, I can play around with moments, juxtaposition, and I guess the best part of street photography is that it leads you to a space where you can actually outdo yourself. So the moment I started looking at my pictures that I used to click back in 2015, 16, and the pictures that I click now, I see that my entire perspective has changed. And I guess the idea of succeeding with every possible day makes it all the more special, makes it all the more challenging, and I'm hoping that I will do much better going ahead. Well, the pandemic has been really tough when it comes to street photography, because we have not been able to move out, we have not been able to step out at all. And what has happened eventually is that we got a chance to explore our houses, our homes much better. So believe it or not, in all these 30 years, I didn't even know that there's a small closet on my rooftop that has brilliant light. It has amazing light. And what I used to do is I used to wake up, I used to go there, and I used to spend hours looking at how the beams, the sun rays, are actually moving from one end of the path to the other. And I got brilliant silhouettes, I got wonderful moments back at home, and probably I got a chance to also explore the fact that street photography doesn't need to happen outdoors. It can happen inside your own building, it can happen inside your own bedroom. And I have been really grateful that I got a chance to explore this more and more with every passing day. So pandemic was quite tough to begin with for the first couple of months, but eventually I managed to document some really wonderful moments which I have not been able to do so far. And we'll try and show you some pictures about how it went through. I actually tracked the movement of my parents as well, what they do right throughout the day, and their hand postures, their hand movement, and eventually worked out to be really nice. Well, taking a street photograph is a challenging task, to be honest, because you are out onto the streets, and there could be moments where strangers object to your process, and it has happened to me on multiple times, because I have maybe have had unauthorized access into buildings because I wanted to capture life inside those buildings. I wanted to capture the light late at night. It has happened that people have actually thrown me out of their buildings and their premises because they're obviously entitled to. So I guess one of the biggest challenges that a street photographer faces, or rather what he or she needs to do, is to put their ego aside. Once you step out from your house, you should leave your ego behind and then move out. And in case somebody objects to the fact that you should not photograph them, you should politely move out of the scene. You should not force them to do their shots. And that is the reason why I continuously tell people that maybe activating the stealth mode is very important when it comes to a street photograph. You should be unseen. You should be completely I would say you should disappear from the scene. Nobody should look at you. Nobody should be aware of the fact that you are shooting them. That is probably the biggest success for you as a street photographer, because the other meaning of street photography is candid photography. So So I believe you have to be very wary of the fact that in case you are now moving out into crowded streets, you should be maintaining social distancing from the crowd. That's one of the biggest challenges that we have faced as a street photographer in this pandemic situation. And of course, you should be very respectful of the fact that your environment might be disturbed because of your act. So be careful, be street smart, and I guess at the end of the day, you will be rewarded with good pictures. Well, street photography teaches you that life can be unpredictable. So, there have been times when I have stepped out of my home thinking that I will click images like these, but I have ended up shooting images that were completely different. I thought of maybe going ahead and making some really good juxtapositions, but I have come back with good light and shadow images. So I guess the biggest lesson that I have learned from street photography is not to expect something and go out onto the field thinking about one particular shot in mind, because you have to keep your eyes and ears open. Once you're out onto the open canvas called the streets, anything and everything can happen. So I guess once a street photographer goes into the real life challenges or faces the real life challenges, they will be equipped to handle them with care. So yeah, maybe it equips you with the idea of countering the potential uncertainties of life. Well, there's no particular technique that I would say it's my favorite, but then recently I've been exploring a lot with rear curtain sync, and of course slow shutter with flash, because that creates a very unique moment when it comes to streets and there are subjects moving. So hitting the flash actually enables you to freeze one subject, and the lights create a very interesting movement. So rear curtain sync and of course flash and slow shutter combination really works for me of late. And of course I have also been shooting, I do not know whether people approve of this, but then that's the beauty of street photography, is that you can do anything with it. So I have been shooting a lot with shallow depth of field. There have been people who have been telling me that okay, maybe in street photographs you should not be playing around too much with the depth of field, but then because I was shooting with the 50mm or the 85mm, I have gotten some really wonderful crisp looking portraits and some street moments to go alongside. So yeah, using shallow depth of field in street photography is something that I've been really experimenting with. I got some really good results. So please do not have this prejudice in mind that you cannot shoot with say 1.8 out on the streets. It's pretty much possible. And of course, not just with wide angle lens, I've also been shooting with the prime lens on the streets. So I believe there's nothing in the world that can stop you from clicking images that you love clicking. So just go out there with an open mind, and I guess at the end of the day you will get some really good results. I guess the biggest change that I've seen in me as a photographer would be the patience level, or I've been very very patient. I have been really standing at a particular place for more than say 4-5 hours just to get one particular shot. I think that is what street photography teaches you, to be more and more patient with every passing day. As street photographers, we often conceptualize or frame a particular moment in our mind until the point it actually happens, it actually fructifies, we are not satisfied. So I guess the biggest change in me as a person would be to be more patient and maybe to anticipate a moment much in advance, much more in advance. So maybe pressing the shutter is the least important of the lot. I guess what is more important is to be patient, to be very very to be anticipative about what a moment can actually happen, and when it happens it gives you immense satisfaction. So yeah, as a photographer I've become more patient doing street photography. Well, the journey has been not very smooth. It has been undulating. There have been ups and downs. But that is probably the best essence of growing as a photographer, not just as a street photographer. Initially, towards the beginning of my journey as a street photographer, I, to be honest, didn't understand what is storytelling through pictures. For me, a good picture would be something that looks good to the eye, but that is not necessarily a street photograph. A photograph or a street photograph should tell a story, in my opinion. So initially, towards the earlier half of my stint as a street photographer, I clicked a few pictures. One was near Esplanade, which actually got published in a book called The Soul City. It got published as the cover. That was one of my very favorite images. Then I clicked a number of images at the jetty toward Jagannath Ghat. Those were also my favorite, but then those were not anywhere close to my bests. I only learned from there. I only started from there. What happened is, again, since Pole Market is one of my favorites, but then that was not with light, it was about a moment, a juxtaposition, the picture that people very fondly call Dil To Bachcha Hai Ji moment. So that was clicked in 2016. It was one of our walks that I clicked that picture with. That particular picture started my journey as a street photographer. I realized that maybe it's not just pretty looking pictures that stand out for street photography. The pictures that make or rather tell a story that is surprising, that is striking at the same moment, that is what defines a street photographer. So that was the first rather street photograph that I did. That was in 2016. So I'm completing my 5 years journey as a street photographer now, and the journey has been spectacular. Well, to be honest, as a street photographer, nothing is perfect. No moment is perfect because everything happens very, very spontaneously. But then if you ask me about, say, a couple of pictures that would be picture perfect for me, one was near Bada Bazaar, which I captured when somebody was smoking and the light from the backdrop was coming out to be really crystal clear. And when that person was moving towards me, I thought that maybe I should try and document a moment because the smoke was coming out to be very, very uniquely. And slowly but surely, when the character came close to me, I took a couple of shots, not more than that. And the way that person was smiling seemed like it was like a skull. So it looked like it was showing the negative effects of smoking. So that I consider to be one of my very favorite shots. Perhaps not perfect because given a chance I would have probably framed it better, but then that's the beauty of street photography. You cannot frame something to your perfection, but as close as possible to reality. That is probably one of my favorite shots. The other one would be from a recent trip to Rajasthan, which I got. I mean, I'm very lucky that I got a chance to shoot in the beautiful city of forts and palaces, which I thought that maybe could not give me some good street images. But then because of the light and shadow, light and shade play, there was a beautiful image that was happening at the Nahargarh fort. When I saw that a person was crossing a particular, a beautiful stretch of staircases, and there was a shadow of a tree that was appearing at the backdrop. So the entire idea was to, frame the shadow of the tree with that of the person. So, finally, I do not know whether the image appeared to be exactly how I want it to be, but it is still one of my most favorite. Any particular location per se. In fact, as I mentioned, you can even do street photographs right inside your room. For me, in case you talk about Calcutta, since I really love those light rays or sunbeams, to be honest, I keep going back to the Pole Market. Pole Market area is wonderful for me. It's as brilliant as it gets, especially in the winter season. The winter season is wonderful because the possibilities of getting sun rays or God rays rather is more and more prominent, and it's a very busy, I would say, place, a busy marketplace, to be honest. You get a lot of elements, a lot of subjects, and their hand postures, their movements, the way they appear with the God rays coming from the back side. The backlit portraits are really wonderful. So Pole Market is one of my favorite areas. Talking about North Calcutta, Girish Park with these wonderful lanes, the narrow lanes of Calcutta, it's wonderful. The architecture is beautiful. The way of light and shadow is also very beautiful. I really love going back to Girish Park and shooting those moments. Light and shadow, juxtapositions, people moving around. Now that I'm also exploring more with street portraits, I really love to go back to that particular part of Calcutta very often. And of course, one more area that I really love to go back every day is the Mallik Ghat flower market. It's beautiful because the colors out there is amazing. The kind of faces we get, the kind of expression we get, and the activities that happen in and around the Howrah Bridge is spectacular. So every time I go there, I feel that there's possibility of creating some really amazing shots so far.